Down, but not out. That describes the Grille 15 in World of Tanks Blitz. It used to have 640 alpha damage, then it had 600, and now it only has 580. But the Grille, with the right positioning, can still be an extremely dangerous vehicle. Now, this is one of my most played tanks in the game, and you might ask yourself, well, I don't like tank destroyers. Why is this one of my most played tanks? Well, because you can play this thing very much not like a tank destroyer, and that is what I'm going to show you in these 3 battles as well, right here with the Grille. Now, you can't frontline this thing, it doesn't have any armor. However, you can do with this tank, as I recommend doing in any medium and light tank. Play from the side. Look at that. These guys, well, especially that guy, they're not looking at me, but I'm looking at them. They can't see me, but I can see them. And even if they can't see me, they're not looking at me. And here comes the M60. Am I going to try to fight that guy? No, because he's obviously got more armor than my tank, and he's also more mobile, so he could try to flank me. So I'm not going to try to directly fight him. What do I have here? Obviously, we've got 1 medium, they've got 2 medium. Our medium has just disappeared, and he's not really interested in obviously fighting a 1v2. So now I'm gonna escape in a different direction. I'm gonna try to escape forward. Now, normally you wouldn't want to directly run into the enemy, which is why I jump. I'm gonna take out the Grille that is also not looking at me. And now there's 3 enemies over there on that side, 2 mediums behind me. One of them is a very low HP 60 TP and a VK72 and a whole re. So you might think, which one am I going to focus? Am I going to jump onto the 60 TP? Well, not really, because if I do that, both the whole re and the VK can shoot at me. And you don't want multiple tanks engaging you at the same time, ever. I know I've said that quite a lot in recent videos, but that is like the thing to remember about Blitz. If you're trying to fight multiple tanks at the same time, you're just not going to win, because you want to win, not just the battle, but every single fight. And if you set up every single fight to win, you are gonna win. If you prepare well, and if you know how to get in, how to get out. Now, this whole re, he's out, and now the 60 TP is remaining with 2 mediums right there. Obviously, 60 TP is now gone. Now, gotta turn around here. But do I want to go straight back into the heavy side? Nah, not really. I want to find some advantage here. I want to shoot them. And there you go. Carl spotted. Can I get him? Yes, I can. The Grille is an incredibly accurate vehicle with 0.27 accuracy. So there is no way where you're not going to hit that shot. And now the only remaining enemy is the M60. And what happens here? Well, the lion's trying to chase him. And I unfortunately don't hit him. But obviously what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to run after him. I'm not going to run behind him. I'm going to try to cut off his escape route. Because even though the Grille doesn't have any armor, it can take a couple more shots because I have the hit points still left. And now the lion's unfortunately dead. However, I still need to cut off this M60 because my teammate is a slow lumbering heavy that the M60 could quite easily outmaneuver despite the massive hit point advantage of the heavy. And the Grille does have a decent power to weight ratio of over 20 and a top speed of like 52, 53. So I can deal with it. I can get around him. And now, at M60, he got attacked from 2 sides, which is what you want to do. You never want to attack an enemy from the same side. You always want to attack from 2 sides, ideally. And obviously, if you're the enemy, you don't want the enemies on 2 sides of yours. Duh. If you're attacking, you want to be on 2 sides, but if you're being attacked, you want all of them in front of you. Makes sense? Especially with the Grille, this thing is incredibly accurate. It doesn't have any armor. It does have good mobility. The traverse is kind of shite, but you want everybody in front of you. You tend to want to be unspotted. Now, the camera rating on the Grille is a bit irrelevant because it doesn't exist when you're moving, and especially it doesn't exist when you're firing. Essentially, when you're firing, the enemy's view range is your spotting distance, which is about 280 meters for most tier 10s. So don't even bother trying to hide if you're closer than that, because the second you fire, you're spotted. So now I'm trying to hide from 2 183s in this battle specifically, because there's one of them. This thing has 1,700 hit points. And I don't want to lose them all to one tank. And here's an E4 who don't really know what his position is, what his thinking is. But certainly, he can't see me. I can see him. He's not even looking at me. And he's looking at me now, but I'm going to wait for the reload. Unfortunately, that one's going to miss. But I'm going to retreat, and I'm spotted again. What do I do now? Takes 10 seconds to get unspotted. However, I can see the 183 is trying to cross over there, so I'm not going to wait to get unspotted. I'm simply going to take the shot at the 183 over there. And you see this pivoting around the map that is very important and very useful at becoming a good player. Right, I'm not just going to focus on one tank. I'm going to look everywhere for damage. I'm going to look in the city for the 183. I'm going to look in the middle for the M48 pattern. I'm going to look on the outside for the E4. I'm going to find everything from the same position, which is why this up here is a very potent position to be in on this map. And I highly recommend trying it out. Now here, obviously was driving out like this necessary? Of course not. But I have the hit points, I can afford it, I can go and spot the E4 myself. Now, I can get another shot off into him. And now, well, 3 enemies. One of them knows where I am, the other 2 can't really attack me. The E4 could have shot me there, but now, I know the E4 is reloading, I know my reload's quicker, so I'm gonna go forward and attack here. Now, should I wiggle the tank? Most of the time, you want to wiggle your vehicle if the enemy is aiming at you, but in the Grille, they're gonna pin you anyway. I don't know why he's not using HE. That's not a good thing for him, because that means that I can bounce off him and stay alive. If he would have used HE twice, I might have been dead. But I wasn't. Because you can play this thing very well, not just aggressively, but also as a turret from specific good positions. So while the Grille isn't anymore as it used to be, I think it's still a decent vehicle and a good tank to have fun with. And there's a reason why it's one of my most played tanks.